Ice types is going to be a fun list because I genuinely think that I haven't even looked at these yet. I genuinely think I'm going to find some really interesting thoughts that come into my mind as I look at the available Pokemon on all these lists. So let's start with Gen 1. And for Gen 1, I'm going to go with Jynx. Ice Psychic. It's the only typing of that nature. It's offensive. It has a lot of resistances. And the only biggest problem with Jynx is that it's just hard to get in the actual game if you're playing it for the first time. But other than that, this Pokemon can do a lot of really good stuff for you offensively. For Gen 2, and here comes the controversial opinions, guys. It's Delibird. Don't tell me it's not. Don't tell me it's not. Delibird, even though he only learns present, the fact that he has the ability to learn other moves. I got no problem with that. I've got no problem with it. So you know what? Delibird is underrated because his other moves that he can learn can do so much more for you than you think. So much more. And you can also just have fun. He's just fun to use. He's just fun to use. You guys want another controversial opinion? Give me Ice Castform. Ice Castform has Blizzard with the snow up. Okay? That is why he's good. He can change into an ice type, use Blizzard with the snow up, then change to another type in order to avoid any ice resistances if you play it right. Ice Castform is the answer. Gen 4. Most underrated Pokemon of Generation 4 is Abomasnow. This thing's weaknesses are its biggest weakness. Its typing, I should say, is its biggest weakness. Abomasnow is cool and gets a lot of really good moves. But he gets a really, really bad weakness. If you gave this thing Thick Fat, he would have a heyday. But you don't give this thing Thick Fat because you can't make a snowy Pokemon all of a sudden immune to fire. Explain the physics on that. Explain the physics. It wouldn't make sense, right? So with that being said, he's underrated. Not good, but underrated. Gen 5, it's Cryogonal. Just look at Cryogonal's face and tell me like he didn't desperately want me to pick him. The poor guy just felt so left out. I had to. I had to pick him, man. He looked so left out. He was like that kid who gets picked last in gym class because he's unathletic. That's literally Cryogonal. He's just sitting there just like, please pick me. Please. And then I did. I had to. Gen 7. Aurorus. Sorry, this is Gen 6. Aurorus. I had no other option. And I do think genuinely having a ice rock type is pretty bad. But it's not like super bad either. It's not super bad to the point where you can't do anything with him. So the advantage is there with that at least, which is nice. Gen 7. It's Alolan Sandslash. The fact that you gave Sandslash an ice type is something that no one saw coming. And the thing is that people kind of forgot that Sandslash existed due to the fact that Sandslash was a kind of Pokemon that had terrible moves, and you didn't really find it in the game when you could have actually used it in any other game. And then they're like, why don't we just give it an ice typing, and then people will remember this thing exists again. And everyone's like, okay, sure, no problem. No big deal. Generation 8. I'm going to talk about another penguin today. It's Eiscue. I love his ability. I love his moveset. Underrated. No other explanation needed, and that's totally not because my Gen 9 knowledge, my Gen 8 knowledge is limited, all right? Generation 9. Titan. This is the biggest abomination of a Pokemon I've ever looked at. But you know what? It's really bulky, and it gets some great moves. And people will probably say it's one of the best, but I think Iron Bundle still clears. Titan is underrated. What's the most underrated, though? Look at him, man. I can't just not pick him. I have to. Look at him. He looks so sad. He needs me to pick him. I have to. No, I'm not picking him. Nope, you're not getting picked today, buddy. I'm going to go with Abomasnow. Abomasnow is really, really good from a moveset and offensive standpoint. The problem is he's too slow, which is what makes him not, like, pushed over the edge into great territory. But he can be a useful Pokemon. And you guys who have seen my Christmas video will know what an Abomasnow can actually do for you. They hit really hard. They do. So he can do some really good stuff for you. You just got to trust him. You just got to trust him. You just got to use him. Let me know how it goes. But that is our Ice-type list. Jynx, Delibird, Castform Ice, Abomasnow, Cryogonal, Aurorus, Sandslash, Eiscue, Satitan, Cryogonal. The guy felt left out. I had to. He felt so left out. Let's go to fighting next. I'll see you guys then.